Namaste, angels. This is really like my third time trying to do this reading. The first time was when I did the part that I've now published separately, that's about the moon. And then I had started going into the reading, and I shuffled the first deck of cards, and I lost that frame after shuffling. And I'm like, okay, so let me try this again. And I got through an entire spread using these cards. And then I said, let me save this. And I powered off the recording mechanism. And that should have been saving it. But it seemed like seconds after I did that, the whole camera restarted itself. And so it still didn't save the portion that, where I was up to, where I had stopped. Maybe because I had just done it. Maybe it was in the process of saving when it restarted itself. I'm not sure what happened, but it wasn't there. And so that was when I decided, you know what, let me just upload this stuff and let them start at least hearing what I have to say about the moon. And then I'll come back and do the spread. So I do want to tell you guys, like I said, I did the spread that I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do another one, but I had done a spread using this deck of cards. I began with moving and then opened to leaving, and was talking about it, the possibility of it having to do something with leaving a job, relationship, whatever. Sure enough, new career comes up opposite leaving, as if it was about a job. And continued to shuffle, and those same cards just kept repeating themselves. Even after I cut, I landed back on moving again. And then this end of an era ended up being the overall energy. After that, I did a spread. It was mainly about self-care, honestly. It was about self-care. That's the gist of it. I mean, it was a really good spread. And maybe some of the same cards will turn up, but if I had to summarize it, I would say it was about self-care. All right, so opening now to support, which is actually not one of the cards that showed up before. Forgiveness. Retirement, which is still about leaving something behind, even if it doesn't say leaving or moving. Changing your mind. These are all different cards so far, not one repeating from earlier. Welcome the new. I'll do one more. And finances, all new cards. So maybe the universe changed its mind and the message is different. Forgiveness. Overall energy is courage, which is a strength-like card for me. And of course, major arcana card strength represents the sign of Leo. I've been talking a lot about Leo. In fact, during the period for which this reading covers, the sun will enter Leo, and that will happen at the same time that Mars is there, Mercury is there, Venus is there. The new moon will go there. Well, not during this period, the day after. The sun, the moon, Mercury, Mars, Venus. Well, that's enough, isn't it? All that stuff is going to be in Leo at the same time. So I think it's very important. Plus, I did a lot of talking over the weekend in all the readings that I did about August, too. Most of all, mid-August. And in that video lead up to this video that I did about, what I said divine beings need to know about this moon, I mentioned that on August 11th, a bunch of stuff happens. Jupiter goes direct. We will be in the midst of the Lion's Gate energy. That's usually for about a week, like 8/8 through 8/16, thereabouts. Rosh Hashanah falls at that time. The Hajj, the great pilgrimage to Mecca for Muslims in the world. There's something else on the planetary calendar too. So this courage card could definitely have to do with the energy of Leo, but more importantly, it is about us having the strength to face anything that comes our way during this period. Divine being or couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks the individual or shared progress, even union. What the feminine can do to help herself, however, what the masculine can, what the universe would have each or both do, and even wants to help them with, but they will first have to affirm. And the outcome. Divine being a couple. Sentimental feelings. Sentimental feelings are usually feelings that we get when we think back on something. So this could definitely be as directed by the retrogrades, which I did mention the fact that Mercury is in retrograde. I did not mention this is the Capricorn full moon reading. In relation to Capricorn, both Pluto, ruler of Scorpio, and Saturn, Capricorn's own ruler, are both retrograde as well in Capricorn right now. In addition to that, Neptune is retrograde in Pisces, which it rules. Jupiter is retrograde in Sagittarius, which it rules. I did Mercury right. Chiron is retrograde in Aries. That may be it. I wasn't really paying attention to the counting and stuff. But the idea is that we're being sort of directed back to think back and to reflect upon our past in different areas, depending upon what a given planet or sign and energy rules, and that can definitely bring up sentimental feelings about different things. So, recent past. Leaving also can bring up sentimental feelings. I talked in the other reading about when I tried to do this the first time, about how even like leaving a job or something, you got friends there, you maybe have history there, perhaps you learned a lot there. I kind of grew up at my old job. When I started working there, my son was 9 days old. When I left, he was 21, 22. I had been there almost 22 years. When I got married, I was there. When I started talking to my divine masculine, I was there. It's like everything, all my milestones and stuff. So, leaving, even if I had, disconnected from the job or sort of clicked off, withdrawn, that doesn't mean that I wanted to leave all the people and all that kind of stuff, or the memories and things like that. And of course, we can have the similar feelings about relationships, even ones that have gone toxic. You still had some good times. You still have some positive things to reflect upon, and that is through what a lot of people are going to be going or are going already, because of the energy that surrounds us, this celestial energy, and maybe particularly Capricorn and the full moon and the eclipse. Near future. Grief work. It's when grief work came up, opposite leaving actually, that I talked about what I just mentioned. How leaving something or someone can give us mixed feelings, sadness, grief, and joy. Disappointment, maybe in ourselves or in the other person, or both. And happiness, joy, so I think that's through what some of us are going. We'll just have to learn how to deal with those emotions. Masculine's higher self. Gracefully aging. Looks like he is dealing with those emotions. Like, learning the karmic lessons that result from any of these scenarios, and maturing, right? Spiritual growth. Aging in that sense. Blocks the individual or shared progress, even union. Relationship dynamics. How are we going to do this? It doesn't really make sense. Or we're from two different worlds. We're from two different, races, creeds, religions. I spoke to one woman today that commented she's in her first same-sex relationship. So that she had to figure out how are we going to do this? And I'm sure there was a process to how she got to that point. It's that sort of thing that I'm feeling here, coming up. Also, not all the relationships that this is talking about are romantic. So there's other relationship dynamics. For example, you could be leaving a job because of the relationship dynamics. Like the apprentice is now the skilled one, and so you're leaving to do your own thing. The student has surpassed the teacher. You could be leaving your parents' home. Could be leaving your home to go live with your parents to take care of them because they're aging. Children growing up too, could be leaving to go to college. Sentimental feelings about that. My baby's big. I mean, if my daughter was going away, I'd probably be soon to go through that myself. She graduated from high school this year, but she's going to college in Brooklyn. So I'll still see her. She'll still be around. But even our dynamic is going to change too. It's still a different situation. When someone's leaving. Okay. What the feminine can do to help herself with regard to whatever is happening here. Be true to you. So despite the sort of things that I listed that could get in the way of a relationship happening, whether it's a romantic one or a friendship one, or sometimes even a business relationship. I just saw something a few minutes ago about a camp that's run. It's a camp, so you figure a counselor should be able to be hired by the camp. But the camp is actually run by evangelical Christians, so they still won't hire, LGBTQ or black people. I don't think, if I remember correctly. I just read this earlier today. But it was that sort of thing. Like you can't be who you are. In some places in society, or we're made to feel like we can't be who we are in some places, in society, or if we are, we have to be willing to, maybe sacrifice something, not being accepted, and dealing with that, having the courage to face that, and being able to keep the faith that the universe is still going to, take care of us. So there's that. But feminine, we do have the strength to face whatever comes our way. So you should be comfortable being true to you, and not we have to stop the people pleasing. That's been like one of the largest messages that's come through over the past several months. That's not just recent. What the masculine can do to help himself, seeking and finding, and I think one of the one of the things he needs to seek and find is himself. A lot of them trying to find themselves and learn to like and even love themselves a little better. I saw this in all the readings that I did this week too. You may have noticed in both the love reading and the general reading, the crowning card, or one of the crowning cards, the crowning card in one of the spreads is the 9 of Earth, the 9 of Pentacles. And that can be like a very independent and single sort of energy. And it is about spending time with oneself and getting to know oneself a little bit better. So I think that's what he needs to seek and find. It could be working on the relationship dynamics with himself. The relationship with yourself is what you need to heal in order to have better relationships with other people. What the universe would have each or both to do, and even wants to help us with, is getting some rest. That's interesting, but I don't think it's really us. I think it's putting a situation to bed, They want to help us to get closure is what I'm receiving. Could be putting a relationship to rest. Could be putting not a memory to rest, but I spoke last week, I think it was the general reading, where I said somebody's father might be, I'm getting chills now. So yeah, this is it. This is what they want me to tell you. Somebody's father might be visiting them. They might even be a Capricorn. They didn't have to be, but I just felt that and I said they might not be alive. It could be a deceased relative, but maybe most specifically father. And one of the reasons why they're coming is because they want you to know not to feel like guilty, that you feel like there was something unsaid, or you never got to experience certain things with them, and you feel like it's your fault, or at least in part your fault. Whether it is or it isn't, or it was, whatever, there was more you could do or there wasn't. They wanted you to know that it didn't matter. And I think for some, this is about that, and it's connected to this grief work. It's like, let them go ahead and rest, and then also you rest easy too, that everything is fine, and they're not like disappointed in you. Then they didn't leave upset with you. They loved you. They still love you. They're watching over you, and sort of like rest easy. The outcome. Take the next step now. Like having released whatever your situation was and gotten closure on whatever your situation was, now you can take the next step and move on to the next phase of your life, the next chapter. So yeah, that was a totally different spread than before. Totally. I wanted to do a similar spread with my Keepers of the Light Oracle. And I talked in what should have been the beginning of this video, the video I did before this one, about how I hadn't even planned to use these cards. And you see, I don't know if you can see from there. Yeah, you can. There's like 10,000 decks here. I hadn't planned to take all these out. They just sort of ended up out. And then I was realizing that there were reasons for them all. Like this one, for example, when I saw the Mary Magdalene cards, I was getting ready to put them in, I was putting them in the box and getting ready to put them back in the drawer. Like, why are these out? And then I realized that she was on top. And I said, oh, Mary Magdalene has a feast day this week. Her feast day is July 22nd, which is 11, of course, 22, master number 22, also like 13 or 4. And, once I saw that, I decided I had to use these cards. Mary Magdalene, Teacher Awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call and don't let anything stop you. And opening to hope. Love and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. Hope. And Joan of Arc, voice of truth. Stand strong. Focus on your purpose. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. A lot of strong women and feminine energies coming through here. And this may be connected to something I said in that other video too about like standing up for what's right. Defense of humanity. This, sort of rise, not just of the feminine and not just of women, but of humanitarians. It's like the age of Aquarius. It's this freedom from oppression and people that are about that, the rise of those people. And I would say as led by the feminine, however, right? We take the first step. Or we have taken the first step, the lead on this. But that's the way it's been historically too. I've told a couple of those stories of divine feminine from the past, like Esther and Mariama, not Mary, Jesus' mother, but Aaron and Moses' sister. How she led the Exodus before her brothers, those type of things. Look, another one. It's the representative of the Holy Spirit. But I think that there is definitely meaning here. That all of the cards I've pulled have had females on them so far. The Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Holy Spirit and Krishna. Devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Holy Spirit. And Kuan Yin, care and compassion. Choose to be love. Do what you know is right for everyone involved and offer a helping hand. And the overall energy is Lady Portia, divine order, which is like justice for me. Lady Portia is Saint Germain's divine feminine. They are of the seventh ray, the ray of healing. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. Divine being or couple. Recent past. Masculine's higher self. Near future. Blocks to individual or shared progress. What the feminine can do to help herself. What the masculine can. The universe would have each or both do, and even wants to help them with, but they have to first affirm and the outcome. Divine being or couple. The Miriam, sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. I specifically talked about boundaries and the masculine's boundaries and how I just felt like they were often the most impeded upon. Whereas he has like everybody, sometimes including the divine feminine, telling him like what he has to do, who to love, how to love, where to love. And females and the feminine, we get it, but not as much, and not in that same way. Like even as far as same-sex stuff, that's more accepted and is sometimes even. People are even made excitable about the idea of two women being together, but not about two men. So their idea of love and being true to themselves or their personal truth is impeded upon in a way that ours isn't often. That's just an observation of mine. So it's interesting that this came out with sort of the opposite message, saying that love has no boundaries. Well, I guess that's what I was saying too. Love has no boundaries, but people are constantly trying to force boundaries upon us and restrictions upon us, especially in my observation, the masculine. Recent past. Odin. Psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See the truth for what it is and follow your intuition. Interesting that this popped up because I also talked about specifically with the masculine. I had this like feeling, vision that some of them, they just have it all wrong. I don't know what their issue is with the feminine, and I'm sure it's different in different cases with different people, but they saw something or think they saw something or heard something or think they know something or think they know something. It's not the way that they think though. And so they have like the wrong idea, but they've run with this presumption, and that's why like they're mad at you. Maybe that's why you're in separation. That's why, and you don't know why. Because they didn't try to explain it and they didn't try to work it out with you. If they had, they would have found out that they were wrong and this wouldn't be going on. But because they just sort of ran with something, everything's all messed up. And so this, seeing the truth for what it is, perhaps some of them recently came to realize like, oh, I made a mistake. and are wanting to correct it now. Near future. Gaia, Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet and come back to Earth. Stay grounded. Well, this is, I'm sure, the Earth energy that's going to be surrounding us again. Capricorn moon. August will be approaching more Earth with Virgo. There's about to be a bunch of stuff in Capricorn. Mercury. Pluto. Saturn. Yeah. Masculine's higher self. El Moria, awakening presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. Blocks to individual or shared progress. It is faith. Lack of faith is what's holding us back. And a lack of caring and benevolence for humanity. I went on a rant about this, and that's probably another reason why I had to stop the video and not record this part, because I was about to get pissed. Stay calm. Yeah, right. Don't get pissed. Stay calm. Trust the good in yourself and others. Okay. And see the light in the world. Yeah, that's what I had to pause to do that. What the feminine can do to help herself to get beyond her block, which is, again, lack of faith. Soul expansion. That makes sense. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. So you just sort of have to, sit back and allow yourself to ascend. And that will strengthen you in all the areas, including faith. What the masculine can do. It's another feminine energy. Hope, love, and acceptance. Love is yours, masculine. Recognize your divine worth and choose loving thoughts. What the universe would have both or each do and even wants to help us with. Mary Magdalene, teacher awakens. You have something important to share. The universe wants to help you to speak up or present something. Follow the inner call. Or maybe take on some new job, maybe a spiritual calling of some sort. Don't let anything stop you from doing that. And the outcome. Wow, it is Horus. I just got more chills because this is more that August / Virgo energy for me. Cosmic gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. Horus is a Virgo, as far as I'm concerned. As was Jesus. Okay. I think I just want to do a normal spread now and use the rest of the cards as just oracle messages. So Queen of Autumn. Yeah. And these. That's what I want to use. I talked in the other video about how the Queen of Autumn, of course, represents the sign of Capricorn, as well as the other earth signs, Virgo and Taurus. And the mother energy, nurturing, as does the moon. The moon is all about feminine energy, and further for me, feminine energy of surrender. It's about letting go, whether it is a new moon, a full moon, whatever. The moon is about surrender, letting go in that sense. In addition to that, a full moon, as is a lunar eclipse, are about endings that, give way to new beginnings. So all that represented by the Queen of Autumn. You will be given advice that's both practical and creative and should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. Opening to Major Arcana card 19, the Sun. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness and prosperity and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments that you so richly deserve. Major Arcana card 19, the Sun, represents the sign of Sagittarius. But I just thought about also like if the Queen of Pentacles is mother, and I'm holding major arcana card, the Sun opposite, you know, again, there could be something, a family dynamic there, relationship. And now opening to the Prince of Winter, decisive, focused, driven, and impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. When the Prince of Winter shows up in the Knight of Swords, it tends to mean that we either are awaiting a decision or we have one to make ourselves. The Sun. The Queen of Winter, experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. All your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. The Queen of Winter, on the heels of the Knight of Winter, can definitely be about a romantic relationship. Perhaps the female or feminine is older than the male or masculine, or she might just be an Aquarius. And not that Aquarius is old like, but the queen in the tarot of a given element tends to represent the fixed sign of that element. So for air or winter, the fixed sign is Aquarius. Also, I'm here looking at this other deck that I laid down here. Message from afar just fell away. Beginning with answered prayer, and this card, answered prayer, for me is all about Aquarius as well as Scorpio. See, it's a little blue and white. You can see that it looks like a lot of water and waves and stuff. That's the blue, that's the Scorpio. And then you can see like a lot of puffs of like white clouds. That's the air. But then further to that, there's a star in this woman's throat chakra. And all the air signs are about communication. The star, however, in the tarot represents the sign of Aquarius specifically. So I figured with the star sitting atop a communication center, that was definitely talking to me about Aquarius. And then on her stomach, she has this big butterfly, because again, butterflies are about transformation and transition and metamorphosis, just like the sign of Scorpio is. And the sign of Scorpio is important right now. It's very activated right now because, again, Pluto, Scorpio's ruler, is not only retrograde in Capricorn, but will be conjunct Saturn in Capricorn the same day that this full moon happens, and there's a partial lunar eclipse. So yeah, there's a lot of, heavy energy surrounding that. Also, the card's called Answer Prayer, and the star in the tarot, in addition to being about communication, is also about our dreams coming true, our prayers being answered. So seeing this and this at the same time, there you go, Aquarius. Now you know how my mind works. I just paused to explain how my mind works for a second. The Sun and the Two of Autumn. We need balance at this time right now. Maybe that's why Lady Portia showed up. Balance, justice, the scales being evened out, everybody on the same playing vantage. You may be under stress because of multiple jobs or too many responsibilities for one person to manage. It's important to balance your work and your personal life and to bring a spirit of fun to all you do. So yeah, also if you're not getting out and enjoying yourself, if you're not finding time for both like work and play, and believe me, I get the not really wanting to go out and play, but it's for our health and for our balance, for balance in our lives that equates to better health. We need both. So we got to, find time for ourselves and for work. And speaking of the star, here it is. Major Arcana card 17, the star, which is another 8. I talked about all the 8s that showed up this week. Represents the planet Uranus, ruler of the sign of Aquarius. You're about to take a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism, fear with hope, and joy is coming home to roost. So we've got these two birds, both very peacefully chilling out, both hanging out with butterflies. And I think it represents like a rebirth, a rise again after transition. The sun also rises. That's the name of a book, actually. The sun also rises. But yeah, that was in terms of something ascending and rising. The sun also does rise. Coming to Major Arcana card 15, Ego, or the devil, which does represent the sign of Capricorn. You may feel that you're trapped in your situation, but that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus on material wealth and break free of negative thinking. Overall energy is the 10 of summer. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or a chosen family of close friends. Congratulations may be in order on happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. So there's your joy coming home to roost. Let me shuffle these now. Again, we're beginning with answered prayer and opening to divine guidance. So there's the moon, the full moon. And again, that's when the guidance comes in, and we're asked to surrender. Full moon represents, or moon transit like this, the full moon, the new moon, represents feminine energy of surrender. So like a period where we let go, let God, so to speak. Answer prayer. The universal heart reminds us that we're all a very important piece of the puzzle here. Each star, goes toward making up the universe. So because of that, no one is more important than the other. Answer prayer. And transience, which directs us to seek healing, head to toe if necessary, and surrender for that purpose, to allow ourselves to be that vulnerable where we can be naked with our head, turned, our eyes closed, and allow for the universe to heal us. Answer prayer. And lastly, reflection. This is where you look back, when you get those sentimental feelings, you look back on your life and you decide, what baggage or not, what bags you're taking with you. Make sure that they're light ones. We don't want to take any heavy stuff with us. We want to make sure we leave that behind. So it's time to sort through our things and sort of do like a spring cleaning or a packing. Answer prayer. And healing sounds. Now, these can be actual healing sounds, like meditation, guided meditation maybe. Sometimes you're at some sort of class and it's a healing sound to have somebody leading it, yoga, stretching or something. I like binaural tones. I listen to them, when I lay down, when I'm relaxing, sometimes even when I actually go to sleep. I don't recommend that people listen to guided meditation when you fall asleep, because then you fall asleep and this person's talking and you have no idea what they're saying over your life. We have free will. All adults will do as they will, but that's my recommendation. But also, it can be a lot simpler than that. Like healing sounds, especially when we just read about this. Oh, look, I didn't mean to pick up 2 cards. I did, and I revealed this 2 of Autumn yet again. I'm still doing it. Oh, goodness. I revealed this 2 of Autumn yet again. So this is very important. And then as is the Prince of Winter, and this decision that we're awaiting or that we have to make. But I was only trying to pick up the 10 of Summer. So the Prince of Summer came with him, the Knight of Cups. But right here it says, it's time to express your love and appreciation for family. Whether it's relatives or chosen family of close friends. But the key part was expressing your love for family. Wouldn't that be a healing sound? To hear from somebody you care about, a close friend, a family member, a relative, a romantic partner, love interest, how they feel about you in a loving way. Wouldn't that be a healing sound? Make you feel good? Sometimes like sorry is a healing sound. It's music to your ears. All you needed to hear, all you wanted to hear. Or accept your apology, conversely to sorry. That can be a healing sound too. Healing sound can also be any genre of music we're into. We can be listening to, our headphones or whatever. And that can be making us feel better. Music is healing to the soul. So there's a few different ways to look at this and to actually implement it into your life. Overall energy is physical body, and I don't think that it's actually about physical body this time, although for some people it can be, of course. But I mean, overall, I think it's more so, again, about being vulnerable, about being naked, about being exposed, about, shedding light on areas of yourself that maybe you had forgotten to nurture. Areas of yourself that maybe you didn't want seen, that maybe you yourself didn't want to see, but now we're accepting. This is self-care. This is self-acceptance. This is self-love. This is preservation, discipline, all of that. And I think it's very much tied into all this fire energy that surrounds us too. So again, like Chiron is retrograde in Aries, Jupiter is retrograde in Sagittarius, Mars is in Leo, like I said. The Sun enters Leo next week. Venus enters Leo next week. It's just a lot of fire. I should have laid those first. They're bigger. Let's make some room. Crown the masculine. The 9 of spring. And eternal flame. You know what this means? Keep pushing towards that thing or person you love. That thing that sets your soul on fire. That person that sets your soul on fire. That eternal flame. And it may even be connected to your twin flame. And telling you not to give up. Like even where that has seemed like, how are we going to come together? Again, it doesn't make sense. We're from two different worlds. The situation looks bleak, dire. The universe is saying you can do this. You can persevere. Even if you feel down, you're not out. You've worked hard, and what you've created is impressive and worthy of protecting. Maybe your connection to, again, this thing or person. Annoying challenges may pop up, but don't worry, you'll get through them just as you have in the past. You can conquer whatever the obstacle is what you're being told. And we've already seen that, again, we have the courage to face anything that comes our way this period. All that we need to do is maintain our faith that that's true, because obviously the universe has plans of helping us through different situations that come our way. Surrounding the masculine is the moon and meditation. Meditation, I talked about like until I was kind of blue in the face, and I was so happy that the cards came through to support me and to confirm and like reaffirm and verify what I had been saying about the masculine in the general reading. I think that was because I had mentioned like 5 times that he needed to meditate, or he was being guided to meditate, and then we got cards that said that very plainly. And then here we are getting some more. Also, again, that he's gonna have to pay a lot of very close attention to his intuition, his gut feelings. What is your soul telling you to do? Not what other people are telling you to do. Again, get rid of the people pleasing. What is your soul telling you to do? because that's the same thing the moon wants you to do. And the moon wants you to let go of any fear that is getting in the way of following that intuition, that divine guidance that you're receiving. Following, that flame, what your soul is burning for, what your soul is directing you to do, whatever's getting in the way of that. The moon wants to thwart that. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon. So worry is unnecessary. So again, it's about just having faith and that courage to keep going, even if you're not clear as to exactly where. Major Arcana card 18, the moon represents the sign of Pisces. And the planet Neptune, again, which again is retrograde currently in Pisces. Masculine subconscious. Aww. Yeah, you're definitely being told to chase what you love. Not chase, pursue. And isn't that what the masculine does anyway? Isn't that what your energy is all about? And again, your very fiery ruler, Mars, as masculine, as men, not all of you are men, not of the masculine, but those of you who are, you are sort of ruled by Mars. And Mars is, that's the red planet. It's fiery, it's hot, it's all about aggression and action. Not just sitting around doing nothing and watching, it's taking action. And it's located right now in fiery Leo, the lion, the king of the jungle. Nothing can stop you. You are invincible, when you're in your realm. You run things. And so you got that converging upon each other, those two things, those two very strong energies converging upon one another. And it makes this victory in the area of love, but also you in the driver's seat, you choosing to go after what you want. Again, not worrying about people pleasing. It could also be this representation of Venus, the goddess and planet of love, currently located in Cancer before she moves into Leo. And so she could be directing you to do this. The Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot, is not only about victory, it's also about movement, moving, travel, transportation. So you could be going to visit somebody. This could be you returning from separation to go after your love, to rejoin your love. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies. Remember I told you we're from two different places. What do I do? Yeah, you can have opposing energies. You can have opposing ideologies, opposing ideas. You can be from two parts of the world. She's from uptown, I'm from downtown. And, how do we make that work? It can work when you, what? Through determination and release of fear. Determination and focus is what's going to help you to do that. You've earned the rewards and recognition that you're receiving. You deserve love. You have the right to love. You've earned love, and you've earned it with whom or what you want to have it. What makes you happy. A lot of fire and water over here so far only. That makes steam, right? It's getting hot. Crowning the feminine. Major Arcana card 17, the star is back. Again, this is about our dreams coming true, our prayers being answered. Maybe perhaps somebody's was for closure, was that they may be allowed to go on to the next chapter of their life, to enter the gateway. And, here comes that blessing. You're about to take a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism, fear with hope, and joy is coming home to roost. So we are closing chapters. We are ending one thing that's been going on, some sort of phase. It was a karmic lesson. 17 equals 8 represents karma. But yeah, we're past it. The worst is behind us. Only good things are ahead now, right? Goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life, and they're going to follow me right on through this gateway. Surrounding the feminine. The Tower. And the Golden Path. This is kind of like the same sort of energy. Major Arcana card 16, life experience, or the Tower. Can be about revelations, like, oh, I get it now. Aha moments, like having, had some sort of epiphany, having completed a karmic lesson, and, like now we understand what's going on. Sometimes you're going to have to do it in an actual tower. Some of us may be moving or recently have moved. That may be our new journey on our own. That may be the gateway, our new chapter. But you're on the right path. Like, even if it feels like your world's been shaken up. And it's been a lot of transition. All these butterflies, a lot of transition and transformation at one time for one little person. But yeah, you can manage this too. Important changes are coming into your life. And they will require you to take action. They will shake you up a bit. But don't hesitate to move, whether that's literally or metaphorically, in new directions that you know are right for you. And your direction that's right for you is continuing right on down this path that we call here the golden path, which for me is very reminiscent of the yellow brick road. And, down at the end is the emerald ray of healing, just like down at the end of Dorothy's was the Emerald City. Same thing. Feminine subconscious. The Three of Winter. So on our mind is some sort of painful event through which we've gone. But on our mind is also the spiritual growth that we attained as a result. And so that's what's most important. Like we are getting it. We are really understanding like what it's all about now. And how, that helped us to earn a space, an opportunity through the gateway. The fact that we made it through this. Sadness is part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. Right? Because it's going to lead to this spiritual growth. It may be an actual air sign that's going through this, or that put somebody else through this, cause somebody else the pain and stuff. I don't mean to laugh at pain, but I was just laughing because I'm silly. Major Arcana card, the Star, again represents air sign Aquarius, and now we have the Three of Winter down here, so it's more air energy, although this is not a court card. If an air sign isn't involved, I'd say, Mercury or Venus, our rulers, are heavily in it, and which would also make sense because when it's a karmic energy, it means the universe has its hand in things, right? Karma is at play, and there's some stuff that we have over which we have no control. Crowning. Ooh. The Four of Spring of Wands and Retreat, which is like an angel sitting here at peace in meditation pose with another star. So like her prayers are being answered again, wishes being granted, dreams coming true. She may be wishing to communicate with somebody, maybe trying to find the words, center first before she opens her mouth so that she's not hurtful or hurt, and she doesn't get caught up in old pain and stuff and just reverberate things that don't need to be said anymore, but only gets to the point about what does need to be said and how we can find healing and love. And then here it is with the Four of Spring. It's time to kick back, relax, and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life. This card, Retreat, is also giving me Nine of Pentacles feel again. Some people could be single, some people could be now newly moved into their own home or own space, single, both masculine and feminine. And one of the reasons the readings, I said this might be our first time they were both single at the same time. Maybe it was the love reading, because that's the only time it would matter, right? I don't think it was the love reading, though. It might be that bonus reading, the first general I had done. But yeah, I'm getting Nine of Pentacles feels like independence. If it's not your own home, which it very well can be, especially for the feminine here crossing the life experience to the Tower, because the Tower can be about an actual tower, an actual structure like a home. Then I'd say it's something else, like it's still you being independent, and it could be connected to the first spread and leaving and moving, and those cards just showed up. At the root is the Queen of Autumn. She is back. We started with the Queen of Autumn. She's back again. thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious. You will get advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. This looks like more nurturing toward balance, or this does, so that you can get to this part. Like we have to be in a really positive and ascended place to be able to achieve this tantric union. This is like beyond even physical connection. I mean, sometimes it does involve physical connection and actually even physical intercourse, sex sometimes, but it's deeper even than that. This is like more of a spiritual connection. It often involves like telepathy and astral dreams and things. And so for that, we really have to be in this place of peace. We have to be, willing to nurture ourselves and to say, okay, I need to sit down. I need to breathe. I need to go and retreat, right? I need to go sit in the park, whatever it is, so that we can reach the heights that are necessary to even achieve tantric union. At the heart of the matter, oh goodness. Please don't block your blessings. 5 of Winter. This is us being conflicted. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others. This is us with, it's not, it's funky thoughts, right? Our words, our thoughts that we speak over ourselves, all of that, our demeanor, or like our, whether or not we're at peace, whether or not we're at center, that's what affects our blessings, right? Funky, nasty thoughts block our blessings. Positive thoughts of manifestation open us up to blessings. So this is a warning here that there is a potential propensity during this period to not have our mind right. And therefore get in the way of some of this good stuff that wants to come through. So, but this is only a 5, right? The 5 of Winter. These cards are much stronger than this. They totally trump this. So you have control over this. I said that there was like stuff that we don't have control over, but you have control over this. Further advice of what the universe wants to give you, help you with over this period. From a number of decks here, and this one is in the area of abundance, beginning with this first one that's for all of us. Obstacles and blocks are lifted. And I talked in the other video about this, like in the beginning I had gone over all the different decks I had, because it was funny, another deck said something about obstacles and blocks being lifted, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, I have another card said that, and I have a card here that that's the title. So maybe we'll see that one too. All of your good personal work and your positive energy, right? Not negative thoughts and negative energy, but positive energy is what helps you to overcome obstacles. And then that way blocks are lifted away. You can now experience progress and forward movement in your projects. Stay centered in gratitude to ensure that your flow of abundance continues. This is my past life oracle. Wanted to know from the past life oracle on what each archetype would be made to focus, or in what area we were going to find healing during this period. And we were starting with Father, which I also thought was interesting because in my other readings this weekend, so much of this like Emperor energy and Father energy, and what I felt was a representation of patriarchy, maybe as it related to this reading in this period, because I just feel again like the collapse of some of these false walls and people that we've built up to, like them coming down, also coming back down to earth and being made to fall back down, people being exposed, indicted, arrested, all that kind of stuff. There were big wigs. And I think that that's connected to the father. Also, we saw a lot of 19. We saw a lot of 11. Not in this reading as so much, but in the other ones that I had done. And so that's a representation of father too. And now in this deck, I'm starting with leadership, which is also like connected to that sort of emperor or Mars, Martian kind of energy that is about leadership and action. Take charge of this situation. And we have a woman wearing a suit of armor. So she's like very like the woman that we saw in the Keepers of the Light Oracle, like the Joan of Arc. I have some stuff. I was speaking of armor and like knights and stuff. I have some Knights of Templar stuff I want to do for you guys too. I looked into it as I said I would, and the connection to Africa and everything, and I've learned quite a bit of interesting stuff that I'd like to share. Oh, I didn't even tell you, goodness, I didn't even tell you what the card I was beginning with, or that's all for us to share in this deck was, and it is the law of attraction. So that's, of course, all about manifestation and not blocking our blessings, but drawing them in. Relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing. Right? So we're leaving relationships, we're leaving situations, activities, homes, friends, people. We're just changing. And so are they. And as we become more sensitive and aware of our energies, we attract different things. For my 4 agreements cards, I am beginning with all the sadness and drama that you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. The whole world of control between humans is based on that. Take a moment and consider this. And I felt that this was screaming to the masculine because of what I said before, that I had already seen that some of them, just like had it all wrong. You got the wrong idea. You misunderstood. You got me all wrong. I'm not sure. I'm sure it'll play out differently for different people, but there's been some sort of misunderstanding on his part, and it's, greatly affected things. Lastly, a blessing from your soul, from my Namaste Oracle. You are a beautiful soul full of infinite wisdom. Stop judging and start loving yourself. You're blessed with endless potential and are on the verge of transforming into the radiant being that is your true essence. Shine your light and allow this blessing into your heart. And then more specifically for the masculine, I don't know, it's a bunch of trees. Maybe it's something connecting to earth energy and his need for... Oh, nope. It's about a door closing. That always means another one opens, right? So like one chapter ending, which we did speak about, and now another one beginning. One moment, nothing is happening. Then everything seems to happen at once. A door soon closes. But before you know it, another opens. You walk through it into a bright new life, one in which you can be who you truly are. All right, for the feminine, Lord Ganesh is on here, so maybe ours is about abundance. Let's see. A crystal clear blessing. You are soon blessed with great clarity. We saw that here, right? With the tower. I said an epiphany, like, oh, now I get it. Yeah, now I get it. Your destiny is calling and your soul is shining its infinite wisdom. You are blessed, protected, and guided in all you do from this moment on. From the 4 agreements to the masculine. Whatever people do, feel, think, or say, don't take it personally. Others are going to have their own opinion according to their belief system. So whatever they think about you is not about you. It's about them. This is for you and your people pleasers, or the people that want you to please them. This is their story, their deal. They're the ones with the problem, not you. Always do your best. Love and nurture your body. Your own body is a manifestation of God. And if you honor your body, everything will change for you. Practice giving love to every part of your body. Isn't that what I said about the overall energy of physical body? Like there were pieces of ourselves that we had ignored, that we have to pay attention to these other pieces. Yep. Every part of your body. This will plant seeds of love in your mind. And when they grow, you will love, honor, and respect your body immensely. From the angel therapy cards, masculine. The reason you've been confused, because you don't know what you're going through, maybe you don't understand, or you don't understand what feminine's deal, or maybe somebody else in your life, is because they're an indigo. The person you are inquiring about is an indigo, meaning they are highly sensitive and a natural born leader. Feminine, for us, past life issue. This situation has a basis in one of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you to remember, release, learn, and heal from your past experiences. From the life purpose card, and you are just guided to study. So it's like whatever you're into, study, reading, research, and education will help you to gain confidence and clarity about your career, your purpose, whatever. Feminine, for us, yoga. I can't make this up. Like everything I say, it shows up in the cards. Yeah, this looks like that angel that was sitting there retreating, right? Your life is enhanced by yoga, stretching, and exercising. I even use the word stretching. From the past life oracle to the masculine, what he is going to get help with. It's just the confirmation that the angels are with him, helping him through everything he does over this period, which is beautiful. Feminine, for us, vows. We are going to need to work on, and the universe wants to help us during this period, releasing ourselves of vows, making these things void and no longer in effect. The vows that we took in past lives, that we want to now say the contract has been fulfilled and it's complete and I'm done with this. So that's what we'll have to work on. If you got, you know what, I'll do something. I'll post something, or maybe make a short, tiny video, or maybe go live or something to help people to understand how to do that, right? How to declare something void, complete, fulfilled, and not to be revisited. From the butterflies to the masculine. Family changes. Something is going to change. And this did come up in the other reading, the other spread, and I felt, there were things with, again, people moving, maybe even having a baby. I saw twins in one of my readings, somebody having twins. Different family changes, different relationship dynamics, which did come up for the masculine going on, and that affects your family and changes. But you'll get through that too. Feminine, for us, moving. Yeah. And I'd say some of us are maybe literally moving. If we're not literally moving, we are still moving forward toward, the next phase of our lives, the next chapter. What's up for the feminine? From the Keepers of the Light Oracle to the masculine, Kuan Yin, care and compassion. Choose to be love and do what's right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. For the feminine, it is Joan of Arc, the voice of truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, and release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. So don't worry about what anybody's going to say about what you have to say or what you feel you need to do, including the masculine. Like, how's he going to respond? What's he going to think of me? Who cares? Is what this says. From the abundance angels to the masculine, savings. As you consistently save for your future is saved. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is a part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life purpose. So what this is saying is every time you get paid, somehow you take an income, take a portion of it for yourself to save. And I know that's easier said than done, but you know, even if it's just 1%, 2%, commit to an amount. Feminine for us, unlimited ideas. Your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you have complete access to unlimited ideas, guaranteed to bring blessings. All that you need to do is to take divinely guided action to allow these ideas to come to fruition. From the animal tarot to the masculine, it is the King of Winter. At this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert that you can find. Masculine, basically, this is telling you to mean what you say and say what you mean. You also may have the occasion to work with some sort of professional, right, for them to aid you, a lawyer, a judge, realtor, you know, accountant, like that type of person. They may actually be an air sign, or someone likened to the traits and attributes of a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Feminine for us from the Animal Tarot. Ooh, the King of Summer. Warm-hearted, devoted, loving, and faithful. A trustworthy person or relationship enters your life. You may receive wise and compassionate advice from someone who speaks directly from the heart. The King of Summer is a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. He's got his emotions in check, and he's very, you know, charitable and generous and sweet. It doesn't have to be a water sign, though. Just somebody with those traits or attributes. And lastly, from the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine, forgiveness. This is your second Kuan Yin, I think, right? Did you get Kuan Yin before? Yep. This too is Kuan Yin. You may want to read about her. Right? Look her up on Google or something. She was a virgin that sprouted from a lotus flower. It's a very nice story. She's like Asian Mary, kind of. Yeah, that's my Chinese Mary. And she's all about forgiveness and compassion and mothering and nurturing. Like when women are having trouble getting pregnant, you put a Kuan Yin statue. Don't ask why I know all this stuff. I had a very interesting and strange life. I've mentioned before, I used to go to Chinese school even every Saturday from 9 to 1 with Jean and Joho. Anyway, feminine for us from the Universal Love Oracle. Wow, right back where we started. Answered prayer. So again, we got kind of like 2 stars. The same way the masculine got 2 Kuan Yins, we kind of got 2 stars on which to end. Our dreams are coming true. Our prayers are being answered. Our wishes are being granted. And we might even receive communication from somebody. Like the King of Winter, maybe? I hope that you guys have enjoyed our moon reading. I'll be back with something, I'm sure. Probably. Like I said, I want to talk to you all about the Templar Knights and what I learned about them being in Africa. And I want to help people to break their vows in a, legitimate way. So I'll come back to try to work on that. Thank you again for joining me, for liking, sharing, and subscribing, for all the many ways that you guys support me. I really do appreciate it. Namaste. Wait. I keep meaning to say all this week. I used to remind you guys, or remember to remind you guys, to check out Divine Girl Talk, the page that I have on Facebook. And Yvonne really is the one who runs it, or at least she puts up the most. She basically is the one who runs it, and primarily puts the posts up. I post occasionally, and she's just phenomenal. She just a lot of really inspirational and motivational posts and stories and things and opportunities to share. And it doesn't just have to be the feminine and women, it's for any and everybody on this journey. So do check out Divine Girl Talk, especially if you have something that you'd like to talk about and share, and you don't have anybody to turn to. There are others like you that are out here. I also have Divine Oneness, which is a closed group on Facebook, and you can certainly talk there if you like to. All right, now, namaste.